All right, let's dive into the surprisingly dramatic and kind of hidden world of the common birds you see every single day. Because, behind that peaceful look, there's a constant, high-stakes battle for survival going on.
So picture this. You're just sitting in a park, minding your own business, and you hear a bird singing its little heart out. Sounds pretty nice, right? Just a classic, beautiful day. But what if I told you that you're not actually listening to a song of peace at all? Yeah, you heard me. That beautiful melody is actually a fierce declaration of ownership. It's a challenge to any rivals, a warning shot telling them to stay away. And to really get why, we first have to understand what in the world they're fighting for.
So what's the big prize in this war? Well, it's all about territory. And trust me, it's not just a piece of land. For a bird, it is literally everything. It's a lifeline. A territory is this exclusive zone. You can think of it as a bird's house, its grocery store, and the nursery all rolled into one. It's the one place it has total control, which makes it absolutely vital for passing on its genes. I mean, a good territory provides all the essentials. It's got a safe spot to build a nest, a pantry that's always stocked with food, a stage to show off and attract a mate, and a secure area to raise the next generation. It really is the complete survival package. And here's the real heart of the conflict. There's only so much to go around. There are a limited number of safe trees and good feeding spots. So grabbing one of these prime locations, that is the single most important factor in whether a bird makes it or not. It's this brutal competition where location is absolutely everything. Okay, so how do they actually fight for these resources? You might be surprised. It's not just a bunch of chasing and squawking. This is a conflict fought with a seriously diverse arsenal of tactics. The battles really play out on two main fronts. You've got the direct, physical stuff. We're talking intense, high-speed chases through the sky, real dogfights. But then there's also this much more subtle, strategic game going on that's all about outsmarting the opponent. And the fighting styles are incredibly different depending on the bird. A big hawk might just use its raw power, flashing those talons to intimidate. But a smaller bird, like a sparrow, has to rely on pure agility and mob tactics, using its speed and numbers to overwhelm a rival. It's that classic matchup, brawn versus maneuverability. But here's the thing. Brute force will only get a bird so far. Some of the most critical battles are actually won before a single feather even gets ruffled. This is where it becomes a battle of wits. Remember that song we talked about at the beginning? Well, it's a multi-tool. It's broadcasting to potential mates. Hey, I've got a great place. And at the very same time, it's a loudspeaker, blasting a clear message to rivals. This is my turf. I'm strong. Don't even think about testing me. It is so much like a chess match. First, you've got the vocal warfare. Then an intruder might do some strategic probing, flying near the border just to see how the owner reacts. Are they quick to defend? Are they aggressive? It's pure intelligence gathering. And some birds even use clever deception. Think of a killdeer faking a broken wing to lure a predator away from its nest. They use that same kind of misdirection against rivals. It's incredibly sophisticated stuff. So all of this leads to the inevitable outcome of any battle. You're going to have winners, and you're going to have losers. And in this secret war, the stakes could not be any higher. And that's a huge question. After all this fighting, all this strategy, what's the fate of the bird that gets driven out? Well, the reality is pretty harsh. Just look at the contrast here. It is stark. The winner keeps the prime real estates, gets the chance to breed, and gives their chicks a much better shot at survival. The loser, on the other hand, gets exiled to the margins, where there's less food, more predators, and little to no chance of raising a family that year. It's a devastating blow. Now, it's important to get this straight. The goal here isn't to kill the rival. It's about eviction. The winner just needs the loser gone, not dead. But by forcing that rival into a really poor quality area, the winner's basically sentencing them to a much, much harder life with a way lower chance of making it. So let's bring this all together. Because once you understand this constant struggle, the world around you really starts to look a little different. That robin you see perched on a branch, it isn't just resting. It's on guard duty. That sparrow chasing another one, that's not playing. It's a border skirmish. Every single bird you see is an active player in this ongoing drama, defending its lifeline. So here's what I want you to do. The next time you're outside, just look at the birds and try to see what's really happening.
Picture those invisible property lines drawn in the air and on the ground, and just appreciate the constant vigilance it takes to defend them. You know, what we think of as the peaceful background music of nature is actually the sound of survival. It's a complex and relentless battle for a place to call home. Now that you know what to look for, can you see it?